new line here. Timofeyev, Babenko, and Stevens reunited after last night as I slowly look and scan the bench for Ahmed Mahfouz, who's down to the right-hand side. So maybe we'll mix it up a little bit here, change things up. Here comes Timofeyev right off the opening draw, flipping it towards the net, and gloved down by Christian Pavlos 6 seconds into the period. I'll tell you what, this line was, for all intents and purposes last night, a superstar line, as Timofeyev and Babenko work very, very well together. And Kyle Stevens, I'll tell you what, he has come into quite a bit of his own player this season. Maybe not the same player he was last year when he was with Carolina, but certainly a brand new player this year as Stevens picks off one. Timofeyev flipping it towards the net. It's worked down in the corner, and immediately the Enforcers right back into the offensive zone. Timofeyev trying to work it out front. It's tipped back aside by Pietrantonio. He's run into the boards, and Babenko working the puck back around. Fed back in there, and a cross-check from behind by Pietrantonio, and there's the penalty. Well-deserved. Josh Pietrantonio, take a seat, and he is going to go to the bench for 2 long minutes. Roughing's going to be the call. So Pietrantonio takes a seat. We head to a Labella power play. Labella, who reminds you, we are powered
by partnership. Looks surprised not a cross-check there on Babenko down to our right, over by that face-off circle. And the Enforcers now, again, pressing early on with the offense, and maybe this power play can finally give them some life.
As Mitch Atkins will take the draw, Gavin Yates and Sean Reynolds up front, Timofeyev and Mahfouz on the backside. Worked along here by Dominic Fate, shoved right back up the boards, picked off by Timofeyev, firing it down. Yates couldn't get his stick on it. It's worked back up and kept in the zone by Mitch Atkins. Trying to fire it around, Gavin Yates got in front, and now it'll be flipped 200 feet. So 15 seconds killed in the power play, but the Enforcers will circle back. Timofeyev goes to pick it up back behind. Pargach chasing after it. Reynolds now getting up and out of the zone. Fires it along. Tipped in front. Ahmed Mahfouz chasing, firing, and just wide. As now Gavin Yates trying to squeeze in there, but the puck is moved out by Dominic Fate. Going back to play again, Timofeyev. Timofeyev looking up ice as he's trying to catch Carolina in change. No one was wide open, so Timofeyev will bring it in himself. Looking towards the front, fires it off a leg there of Vlasov, and the puck is worked back around the boards. Cangigliosi picks up and dumps again 200 feet. Nick Nieder. Yesterday he got a little impatient and started shoving the puck up himself as he didn't want to wait for his players to get back, and that actually led to a goal. Brandon Buick trying to turn it around, right back in on Nick Nieder as Buick got tripped up there at the blue line. Moved back along, and Yarwood has to chase. Cangigliosi chasing him. Mahfouz will pick up, passes along, was looking for Buick, just got away from him. Bunn turns it right back around, in on Nieder, and Yarwood will go back to play. Not the power play the Enforcers wanted to start off with here, as Yarwood gets into the zone, dumping it down in. Mahfouz trying to chase. Baker has it pushed away from him. Parjak gets tied up, and out with it comes Carolina back the other way. 2-on-1 as Kyle Stevens is the lone man back. Another shot saved by Nick Nieder. Nick Nieder comes up huge for the Elmira Enforcers, and Robbie Nichols has got to be looking for somebody to get that spark going.
The Enforcers have come up strong when they've been on the shorthand, but now again a big opportunity there for Carolina. Nick Nieder again standing up strong in net.
So Pellegra will come out again, trying to change up the advantage here as Pellegra gets out there with, I'm guessing we'll have to call this the third power play unit. Down to 23 seconds to go. Yarwood picks it up. Yarwood working back out from behind the net. Starts to look up ice, feeds up to Tom Tracy. Tracy gets over the red line and dumps. Chasing after it now is Brandon Buick. Buick firing it towards the net, flipped in, shot, a goal! Kyle Stevens! With 8 seconds to go on the power play, Brandon Buick sends it across. Kyle Stevens buries it, and the Enforcers tie the game.
I was just thinking, after Buick had those 4 points last night, we haven't seen much of him, but it's a beautiful pass and right out in front. The Enforcers are able to bury it. Let's get the replay here. Pavlos can't go pipe to pipe, and the Enforcers tie it up here with 17:38 left.
A beauty of a deflection as Kyle Stevens just set his stick on the ice, and Brandon Buick hit it flush. Here it is. Here's a best angle yet, as right by Christian Pavlos, and Kyle Stevens salutes the fans. So maybe that'll uncork the champagne bottle here as the Enforcers look for a way to push more goals past Christian Pavlos. They're going to call that offsides. Brennan Hussey frustrated as Gavin Yates and him were running over the top of each other. trying to get themselves into the zone at the same time. Yates was arguing, saying he thought he had straddled the line. Of course, the puck was in the skates of Brendan Hussey, so that kind of created the issue. As the puck has moved forward, Sean Reynolds trying to chase it down in. JT Walters picks up. Walters over the red line, dumping it back in. Pastuca chasing it down. The Enforcers have already met their quota of shots from the first period, as Walters fires one blocker down there by Pavlos, and Bo Walker will chase it in. He gets a rough ride there from Brendan Hussey. As Pastuca picks it up, takes it back behind the net, dumping it back around for Draharad. Gavin Yates certainly showing some energy here early. Bo Walker tied up there by JT Walters, and Glenn Patterson turns it back around, feeding it off the boards. Right back towards center ice, picked off there by Gavin Yates. Moved it around for Sean Reynolds, who will dump. He takes a hit from Pietrantonio, shoved into the boards there. And again, the puck is worked back up by Carolina. Trying to feed it back out. Trying to move it around to Salak. He's picked off there by Sean Reynolds, trying to spread himself out, trying to get around. Reynolds draws a penalty, wrapping around right back in front, and can't bury it as it's touched. Holding called here on Carolina, and the Elmira Enforcers go back to the power play. Jan Salak had no other choice there.
No, Robbie Nichols pumped up on the bench over there. All effort once again by the Enforcers to create their second power play opportunity.
As the Dilly Dilly chant goes up, we go back to the Labella power play, who reminds you we are powered
by partnership. And being on this side of the ice, I've never seen the pit of misery on front of that box.
So you get your first look at that.
That's the first look at that.
So now you understand the commercial.
Yep. Well,
as once again, the Enforcers battling for it down low. Mitch Atkins tied up there by Fate, pushed up the boards and all the way down. Nick Nieder calling for his defensive players to come back. Nieder will pass it along for Ahmed Mahfouz. Mahfouz dumps it back in for Timofeyev. Timofeyev circling back behind the net. Pargach is right there as Timofeyev starts it back out, looking for Sean Reynolds. Reynolds deflects it, and again, I say those bubbles. Move back along. Chase Follis loses possession. Worked in by Pargach. He gets it taken away from him by Ahmed Mahfouz. And out with it comes Timofeyev. Passes up to Atkins. Moves it along to Reynolds. Reynolds cutting through. Firing off of a leg again. As Timofeyev dumps it back behind for Sean Reynolds. Reynolds starts the cycle again. Moves it down to Atkins. Right back up to Timofeyev. Timofeyev firing it down low. Deflected wide. And again it's loose. Still loose. And the Enforcers digging. And they blow the whistle. And Yates is miffed. He cannot believe that. Robbie Nichols saying the same thing on the bench over there. Puck was clearly loose. The referee blew the whistle. The Enforcers will get an offensive zone face-off, but whew. Yeah. Enforcers have now doubled their shot total from the first period, though.
There you go. That's something.
15:40 to go in period number 2. We've got a 1-1 hockey game as Kyle Stevens moves it along. Back to Vuick. Passed back. Mahfouz winds up, fires, deflected, and just wide of the net. As Glenn Patterson, had he had his stick down, would have deflected that one right by Christian Pavlos. We've got a 1-1 hockey game, 15:28 left to go. Left back behind, under a minute to go in the power play. Cameron Yarwood starts it out, feeds for Kyle Stevens, the Enforcers' lone goal scorer thus far, as he flips it into the far side corner. Mahfouz trying to chase it down. Michael Bunn having some trouble handling, kept by Yarwood. Yarwood drops it back down lower, goes back behind the net. Stevens trying to chase after it. Baker will dump it out, and Yarwood will have to turn and chase. 34 seconds to go in the man advantage for Elmira. 15 minutes to go in period number 2 as the puck is moved back along. Played back through by Yarwood. And once again, he will take it back behind the net with 20 seconds to go. Yarwood fakes a pass. Bo Walker pinching deep on this man advantage for Elmira. Drop back behind to Kyle Stevens. Feeds up for Yarwood. Yarwood stretched into the zone. Winds up, fires over the top and into the netting. So that'll blow the play dead with 9 seconds left to go in the man advantage. Enforcers will have one last kick at the bucket here, and I'll tell you what, there was 3 seconds to go when they scored the last one, so wouldn't be too out of the ordinary here tonight if the Enforcers were able to bury one here. Pellegra comes out to take the draw. He pushes it to the sideboards. Brandon Vuick gets shoved down there. He can't get in control of it. Pastuca moves it along and sends it all the way down as Salak is freed from the penalty box. So, Enforcers 1 for 2 on the night, on the man advantage. 14:25 to go in period number 2. Pellegra picks it up, moves it back along, over the blue line, over the red line. Coming through with speed, Pellegra off to the side, shot, a goal! Mitch Atkins, backhand over the backside of Christian Pavlos. The Enforcers are up 2-1.
Nathan Pellegra, a man you usually don't see carry the puck that far, but a beautiful movement again. The Enforcers getting the goal right out in front of the net. That's what they did last night, and they finally put themselves up with a beautiful shot there.
As you see it on the replay, here's Nathan Pellegra, not normally known for his speed, dekes through, backhand. Mitch Atkins, the Elmira College native, buries the goal, and the Enforcers are up 2-1.